All right, what's up, Certified Casuals family? Just finished recording a podcast with Nick from Marlins News. We are taking a deep dive into the Miami Marlins this year, and I hope that you guys enjoy. How long have you been a Marlins fan, and how did the
My
page
whole
get
life.
started, bro? Because you're killing it with the page.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So been a fan my whole life. Been down here in South Florida, born and raised, guys, and from the Parkland area. I don't know if you guys ever are familiar with it. I know you guys are located
hmm
in Miami, but always went to games as a little kid. The Florida Marlins, Sun Life Stadium. I was always going to games, and then when he was in Miami, going to games down there. Now I work in Miami, so it's easy for me to get down there. But basically, a fan my whole life. Played baseball my whole life. Watch every single game and one of my buddies had a Mets account on Instagram, and he was pretty successful with that. So I went ahead and made my own, and then just been posting on there every day and reaching out, engaging with people, and saw your podcast on there. Thought that was really cool. Um, so yeah, man, just kind of just want to do something where I can engage and kind of be myself in a way. And I felt like it was a really good opportunity to do that, and been going strong with it. So.
Yeah, bro. How long ago did you start the page?
About like 7 or 8 years ago. I was just
Go ahead.
a very long time ago. I was doing like, I wasn't really taking it seriously back then. I was doing like, posts here and there and I didn't really have any like cool graphics or anything. I was just, making whatever. You scroll
Yeah.
down, there are some really, really bad ones. But I just wanted something where I can, talk to people about the game. And then as I got older and older, I ended up, taking it more seriously. And I actually had a podcast in 2019. Where it was called the Marlins Catch, and I was doing that for about a few months, but didn't do that anymore. I was busy with school and whatnot. So
Yeah,
yeah, here I am.
it's hard to keep up. I mean, we started our podcast like a month ago, bro. So we're
Yeah,
also super new. I mean, we're lifelong sports fans.
yeah,
I mean, I saw the Marlins win in '03, so I've been a fan for a while, but it's been a while since I've really locked in. I guess the Marlins being so bad for so long,
I know.
because baseball isn't my first or second sport, it tends to go, and there's so many games to catch up on. So I can't do it a service to the podcast and talk about it because really there's not a lot for me to talk about. It's hard for me to catch the games.
Sure.
I went to a Tampa Bay game maybe like a month ago, and I think that was the first game of the win streak, and I think the first day of June or something. And ever since then, I've been paying attention to it as much as I can.
Yeah.
Um, and bro, I mean, amazing what's going on. So I just wanted I
Yeah.
formulated some questions, so that
Sure.
we can get some clips for
Fire
the
away, fellas. Fire
and for
away.
TikTok. How old are you, by the way?
23.
23. Okay, awesome, bro.
Jeez, I feel like an old
Where are you
man,
guys at?
bro.
Where are you guys at? How
He's
old are you guys?
32. I'm 20.
Me, I'm 33, and
Cool.
Oh, 23. I'm 29. So we're still in our 20s, bro. Don't listen to the old
All
guy.
good. The
Uh,
old man over there.
Yo, so for someone who doesn't really watch too many Marlins games, like, what do you think has been the biggest reason that we've exceeded the season? Like, what do you think happened this year that made it so different from all the other years?
Sure. I think going off of last year a little bit, they caught fire at the end of the year. They went on a big winning streak. I believe they won 8 in a row. Last year they actually started off slow, and what it really comes down to is Peter Bendix, the GM, their plan. They had another GM. They had new ownership come in, and they made the playoffs in 2023. To be fair, but the year after they got rid of Kim A and they brought Peter in, and they had a bad year. They kind of rebuilt the roster again in a way. They got rid of the guys they brought in under Kim, and then Peter kind of brought in his own guys. So 2024 it was a rough season, and now 2025 we go into that, we started off struggling again. Um,
hmm
and the team caught fire. They're a young team, and this is what I tell people, that the reason why I think they are playing so well is you don't got a lot of veterans in there. You don't got a lot of superstars, and in a
there
way,
you go.
there's not a lot of egos in the dugout. So there's not a lot of guys that are like, it's the me show. Everybody's kind of playing together, and they don't, they're young, they're hungry, they're trying to win. Everybody's kind of playing together because there's no one flat out superstar. So I'm noticing that, and they're really good chemistry. They love each other in the clubhouse. You can see that they're everyone's engaging, everyone's always hanging out. From the TV view and going to the games, I kind of sit behind the dugout, so I kind of take a look at everybody, what they're doing, and you could just tell like they all come up to the league. They don't really know any other way besides trying to win. They play really hard. They're very emotional in games. When there's a big strikeout, you see Joe Mack behind the plate. He's pumping his fists. You got Edwards making plays. Everyone's getting really excited when there's big plays to be made. And I noticed the Marlins do that a lot more than the other teams because you could tell that they're just genuinely having fun. No one's really like caring essentially about the big contract yet. It'll
Yeah.
come, but you don't got like in the Mets, you got like a Juan Soto type guy who's kind of taking up all the headlines. So he's going to be just there. He's really just worried about himself. You could just tell that. But the Marlins is not really just one particular guy, and I think that they got hot at the end of the year last year, and they started off this year hot and then cold and hot again, but now they're just flying, and it is unbelievable. And South Florida really needed this for baseball.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, man. I think from what I've seen, I saw recently we got two new All-Stars,
Yep,
which I think it's big for the locker room as well, because I think it goes back to whenever you're bringing in a new team or a new coach or a new manager, culture is key.
sure.
And I feel like we're going through this. I'm a big Dolphins fan, so I feel like we're going
Me
through
too.
this.
I'm a massive Dolphins fan as well. So
We're going through this with the Dolphins. I think that they made the right choice. They fully cleaned house and they're starting to build. They're bringing in the young players because what happened is when you bring young players in, you are able to instill your culture and then those guys can carry it forward. But if you're constantly bringing big names from different places, they're bringing the cultures from different places and you can never really settle down into one solid culture where everybody can buy in. And again, there's not a lot of egos right now. So I'm
sure.
happy you said that. Now, baseball's a long season. There's a lot of games in baseball,
very long.
Yeah.
which for someone who loves to watch baseball, like shit, you get to watch 120 something games. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
If you're watching
Yeah,
every
it's
game,
162 actually.
that,
162 games.
162.
yes, yes.
That's
You're good, bro. You're good.
So so I think we're around like game 80 something. So we're about halfway through the season.
we're about to get to
Give
the
or
break. Yeah, the All-Star break's
give or
coming up.
take, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, halfway through the season, what do you see? Do you see this as being something that's going to be sustainable? Do you think that um, it might be the opposite from the previous seasons where we struggled in the beginning of the year and now we're doing better? And do you think it can be the opposite where like, okay, we got so hyped up, now the end of the season's coming and there's room for downfall? Or do you think that there's going to be consistent growth and they're going to be able to make it into the wild card? Maybe win the division, but at least get into the wild card and start actually making some noise. Like, is that a real possibility?
I think it is. I think you got to put respect on their name. Now they're what 7 games over 500. They're 49 and
Yeah.
42. They have ever yet to be this high for the last few years. When they made the playoffs in 2023, they were only 4 games over when they made it. They're in the third wild card spot now, and they got really hot. Now it's really hard to say that because again, you do got some tough opponents coming in. You got the Dodgers coming back here again. You got to play them. You still got to play Philadelphia a few more times. They got a couple other tough opponents on their schedule as well. It's hard to say that because right now they look like they just can't lose. They just can't lose games, and even the games they are losing, I know they lost a couple games in Colorado. It's so difficult to say with the Marlins because again they are one of those teams that when they can get cold, they get cold. They lost 5 in a row at some point this season. They lost 4 in a row, and then they won 5 in a row after that. They just need, my thing is if they can just keep a level head right now, they're 8 games over. If they can just stay steady here, they'll cruise into that third wild card spot, maybe second wild card spot. I think they can sustain success. To answer your question, LA, I think they have the talent. They all play together. They have great hit. Their lineup is mashing. They got good hitters on the team. Otto Lopez, who's an all-star, which you mentioned. Kyle Stowers is back. He's rejuvenated. He's ready to go. Xavier Edwards has been great. So that's a really good middle infield there. They're getting great production from Joe Mack, their new star catcher. And then Herbert Hernandez came back from AAA, and he's been mashing. And they still got guys down in the minor leagues, too, that are going to be some
Yeah, they do.
reinforcements for September when the September call-ups come. You got guys that, I think Augustine Ramirez will be back at some point. Kemp Alderman's been hitting the ball hard down there. And now, we sent down Connor Norby. He's been hitting great down there, too. So he'll probably be back at some point. So you got reinforcements where Necessarily, I don't think they need to make a crazy move at the deadline. I do think they need to make somebody, but in order to kind of sustain success, they do need to get at least one more player, I think, to round that up. Get maybe a big power guy. Not to say those guys in the minors can't do it, but you want to show the fans that, hey, all right, we're serious this year. We are going to buy. We're going to go bring somebody in. I think they can keep this level of success. I was very high on them coming into this year. I said they were going to make the playoffs. I didn't think they'd be 8 games over, 7 games over 500. It is a really, really cool surprise. Our guys got to keep going, and I think it is attainable if they continue the success they have, play the way they've been playing. Don't change a thing.
So you answered one of my questions, but I want to get a little deeper into it because I was going to ask you, like, do you think they're going to be buyers at the deadline? Is there a few names that you're looking at that could be potential
Sure.
buyers for the market?
I think they will actually.
I
I
mean,
think they will.
I do think the thing is with Peter. Here's the thing: they're not going to trade. They're not going to get a superstar. They're not going to do it. Don't think they're going to trade one of their top prospects. He doesn't believe in
No.
that. I'm hearing Aroldis Chapman. A lot of people are asking for him. They want a closer. Pete Fairbanks has struggled, and he's making $13 million a year, 12 or 13 million a year. They need
I
a
think it's
closer.
14, bro.
14. They need
Yeah,
somebody in
14.
the back end of the bullpen. He's been struggling. I was a big believer in Pete Fairbanks coming into the season. I still am. I think he's got great stuff, but he has been really bad. So that's one name I keep an eye on. If the Astros weren't, I think the Astros are kind of coming their way back into it, but I really was like Yordan Alvarez, which I think it's very improbable, but he would have been a phenomenal fit for this lineup. He's a name that I was looking at. I was like, if they can somehow get him, things would go real up. But the thing is, they need a first baseman, a third baseman. I would say, they got a lot of guys going back and forth in those positions. I mean, you got Liam Hicks right now who's been producing, and he can play first base, but someone at third. I mean, Sanoja's been really good over there as well,
Yeah,
but
so
he's a guy that we like to plug and play in a way. But really, again, I think there's guys in the farm system. I think they go, Chapman is a name that I'm looking at that they could potentially get. I don't know if the Mets are going to sell anybody crazy. The only guys they're selling is Peralta, but I don't think the Marlins get another starter. I don't think they pay up for that. I just don't think there's going to be any big names that they get. If they get somebody, it's going to be maybe a 260 average, 13 home run guy, someone who's going to be a quality bat, but they're not going to overpay. They're not going to get the big fish. I just don't see it.
and I don't think it makes sense, especially when you're building such a young team and again you're building the culture and you're doing what you need to do. Don't risk it by selling
Sure.
out some young players that have potential for somebody who maybe can make an impact this year, but then it affects us later on.
Right.
Is there one thing that still worries you? Like if there's one thing that you can look at that be like, okay, this worries me, and this might be the reason why maybe we don't continue this success. Is there one thing about the team, a specific player, the manager, anything that has you a little hesitant that might make you be like, okay, this can hold us back?
Sure. Clayton McCullough is a popular name that a lot of Marlins fans are not too happy with. Made some questionable decisions, and this past Sunday, he made a very, very polarizing decision by pulling Yuri Perez out of the game. He had a perfect
You
game.
should have left him in.
Should have left him in. I understand what
shoulda
he was
left him in.
saying. I do get what he was saying, but
Hmm.
once in a lifetime opportunity for the kid. He's probably not going to get it again.
Hmm.
But he is somebody who I think is too focused on the analytics. There's a lot of moves that he's made has been strictly over analytics. Now, again, we are 7 games over, and he is also a big reason for that because he gets a lot of hate for the decisions that he did wrong, but he doesn't get any, kind of praise for the things he's done correctly. And that's the thing I noticed. But with Clayton, man, there has been questionable decisions, and I think that if anything was holding us back, it is him. It's just so hard for me to say that though in a way because again we are 7 games over, so I can't really complain about our manager.
Right.
Probably slightly that our closing situation. Pete Fairbanks needs to get on track. There's going to be a lot of close 1-run, 2-run games that we're going to have to try to win at the back half of the season. And
Yeah.
if he's blowing games, and yet he only blew 2 games actually. It's really interesting. It's only been 2 games, but he's coming in there with 4 runs and he's letting up 3 runs. Like we need him to close a game and win the game. These are crucial. Closer is so crucial. We have yet to find a really good closer. We had Ronnie Enriquez last year, who was out for the year with Tommy John surgery, who was desperately missed. and he'll be back next year. So a closer for sure. I think we're good on the bases. Defensively, we're pretty sound. I think our starting pitching has been great. Our bullpen has been great. Our starters need to stay healthy, I would say, is another thing that could hold us back. Our guys got to be healthy. We got Junk coming back, so that's exciting. I think Braxton Garrett should get another go at it now. But we at one
Hmm.
point we were down Junk, we were down Yuri. I think Max went on the bereavement list. He didn't miss a
Oh,
start, to be fair.
our
But
starting pitching was
yeah, we were depleted. We had Tyler
they were in
Phillips.
shambles.
Yeah, we had Gusto
Yeah, it
going a
was Tyler
few.
Phillips and Ryan Gusto. They were
Yeah,
going at it back and forth.
exactly. And then we had bullpen days. So really, just
Hmm.
McCullough making our starters can stay healthy. I think we're pretty sound everywhere else. One thing I do notice is that when a lot of the times when our offense is cold, like if one or two guys are cold, everybody's cold. But when
Yeah,
somebody's hot, everybody's hot. And I noticed
yeah.
that like there's not just one guy who's gonna go like two guys aren't gonna go like 3 for 3 and everyone else is gonna struggle. Like it's gonna be either everyone's doing good or everyone's terrible. And I noticed that a lot, and that's something that they need to fix. Make sure everybody like they're building off each other. So I mean that's good in a way, but like if two or three guys are struggling, like you got to pick it up. Like bottom of the order's got to pick it up. And I noticed that could hold us back. If anything, that's probably my biggest one.
Okay. So, right, if everybody's on, if one person's on, it's everybody's on. If one person's off, most likely everyone's off. So,
I
okay,
noticed that. Yeah.
I see that. Now,
And Ale,
yeah,
to add something,
yeah, go ahead.
that's it's so hard to remain sustained, especially in the NL East, because you have teams like the Braves. The Mets can turn it around, even though I think they're, tango uniform for the rest of the season. But then you also have, in the National League, you still have the Dodgers. You still have the Phillies.
Which gave us,
You know, yeah. Now, I would feel very comfortable if they, for example, Nick said Aroldis Chat. Great ad, honestly, because we're in dire need of a closer.
Yeah.
And maybe a bottom half starter in the rotation. So, I mean, Sandy, Yuri, and Max can't do it by themselves. If we make it to the playoffs, that's probably going to be the rotation. But, if they were to add one more guy, but here's the problem with being a buyer at the deadline. You got to give up something to get some.
yeah, what do you
And
give up?
that's the scary part.
Now,
That's the
now,
What
thing.
do you give up?
if there was someone to give up, either of you guys can answer this. We'll go with Nick first. But if there was a player to give up, who would you feel comfortable being okay letting go?
I mean, if we're buying, we're giving up a prospect.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Oh man. I
Hard
don't want to give up Thomas White. I don't want to give up Snelling. That's the thing. It gets tough. I mean,
It
maybe
gets very
probably
tough.
a low A guy. I mean, Cam Cannarella, no. People are going to be calling for him.
Hmm.
Augustine Ramirez, maybe. I don't know if he's got any value at the moment.
I don't think so.
Exactly, because you got to give somebody a value, right? It's like
Sure.
it's the same thing that happened. Again, I'm also a Miami Heat fan. It's the same thing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
happened with the Giannis trade. Like we didn't want to give up Kasparis Yakachonis, but if the trade doesn't hurt a little bit,
Right.
then it wasn't really a good trade, because you're
Yeah.
not getting a significant player. Is
Yeah.
there anybody? Is there
I
anybody
would
that you really?
say Ave Arquette's going to be a name that I'm actually going to watch at the deadline. He was our first rounder, and he's going to be a superstar. He's our number 3 prospect. If the Marlins he's probably the highest prospect that I think could get traded if they do move so that would be for like a big, like maybe Chapman guy. It might be a little too much for Chapman at 38 years old, but
Hmm.
he is one I'm watching. Dylan Lewis has been really good for us as well. He could be someone I see can go. We got him in the Yankees deal, I believe,
Yeah.
for Weathers, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken. Starling Caba as well. He could probably be traded. He was from Lizardo. He was a shortstop. Um, I don't think they trade Alderman. I would say the highest they would give up is Arquette. I don't think they traded any of the superstars. It's just I don't want to move Arquette. I don't, but I could see it happening
That
for a
that one hurts.
superstar. It would hurt. I
That
know.
one hurts.
But I mean, like again, if you go after a guy like Gino Suarez, who I think would be a nice fit, or you don't got to give up any of
Yeah.
those guys. You know, you can give up maybe like Starling Caba or like like someone like that, or like a Dylan Head type guy. Like you don't have to give up like top prospect. You give up maybe your number 8 prospect and like a number
Hmm.
25. So that's why I'm all in for going for the guys that don't necessarily have that high value, like Gino Suarez, who is a great player. He will be a big asset, but it wouldn't be you won't be overpaying like a Tariq Skubal price. You know what I mean? Like something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are a couple guys that I would be okay with trading if it means we're getting like if we're getting Jordan Alvarez, I'll trade Arquette and I'll trade one of our other prospects.
Right. I guess it just, I mean, like always, it just depends what you're getting back, right? Like,
Yeah,
is the pill easier to swallow if you're getting somebody
sure,
who's really going to start providing value and now to the team now?
correct.
Um,
Hmm.
for casual baseball fans, like, what player on this roster would you say deserves to get a little bit more attention than he's getting? Like, is there a player that maybe not a lot of people talk about that's like, hey, listen, watch out for this guy because he's really making an impact.
Yeah, so all the casuals will know, or casual fan will know Otto Lopez. They'll know, they'll know
Hello,
Liam
Kyle
Hicks,
Stowers.
Kyle Stowers, of course. There's guys that I think are making an immediate impact. I mean, everyone knows Xavier Edwards. I would say people should know Joe Mack because he's
Yeah.
like the top prospect I
He
was pulled
should.
up. Esteury Ruiz is a name that I am very high on that no one really probably is. He is kind of their fourth outfielder, but plays in a way, plays every other day in a way. He's always pinch running, but I think he's a great hitter. I think he should be actually
Hmm.
starting in center field over Jacob Marcy, who I was a big Marcy guy coming into the season. But I
So
think
am
it's
I.
time. I think he needs to go down to AAA and reset, just like
Hmm.
Heriberto did. Big Esteury Ruiz guy. I think that guy has won us a lot of games without people even realizing it. Putting himself in scoring position, stealing bases, stealing second and third in 2 pitches, and coming up big with some big hits. He had a big home run in LA. Um, hitting the ball in the gap. He's finding gaps. He's a great defender. I think he is the unsung hero of this team. Nobody talks about him. Everyone's talking about the Liam Hicks, the Kyle Stowers, the Xavier
Hmm.
Edwards, the Joe Max. But he has been a guy, and so Javier Sanoja as well is another one, but I think he's kind of like a fan favorite
Sanoja,
in a
yeah.
way because Sanoja can just literally play any position, and he deserves
Yeah.
this play every day. He just does not stop hitting the ball. But Esther Yuri is needs to get more credit with the fans. I think he's been doing a phenomenal job. And another one is Griffin Conine as well. I think since coming back from his
Griff. Yeah.
injury, he's been really really hot at the moment. And pretty much all these outfielders, like Heriberto Hernandez as well. These 3 guys, like all these outfielders, have been unsung heroes, I think, for the team. So those are my 3 guys. But I would say Esteury Ruiz is my guy for that.
Love him, man.
Can we talk about how Kyle Stowers has gotten progressively better
I know.
after he
Yeah,
made the switch to first base?
I know.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't
unbelievable.
know. It's night and day. Even at the plate. I don't know
I
how,
know.
but
He has been unbelievable at first base.
yeah.
It has been such a joy to watch him. He's picking balls. I don't think he's had any
Hmm.
errors yet. Um, he could stay there for by all means.
He can
That is
retire
your
there for.
that is your spot, my friend. That is your spot. And Hicks
Yep.
in DH. You know.
Hmm.
Now we got 2 more things here. We always finish our pods with a little draft, so we're gonna do our top 5 favorite Marlins of all time. Again, if I
Sure.
choose one, you can choose one. Just for the fun of it. But before I get there, give me one bold prediction that maybe you sound a little crazy now, but in October, you know, you can come back and say, "Hey, I told you so." If you have one, and you can take your time with it. No need to rush on that. But
It's a good one here. I feel like it's just if I say Marlins make the playoffs, it's not really a bold prediction at this point. I was saying that before the season started.
a
Don't
little
think they win
bolder,
the
a little bolder.
don't think they win the decision. I don't think they win the division. I don't.
No.
Um, Joe Mack is a finalist for Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I am the biggest Joe Mack supporter out
I
there.
I love that kid, man.
I am set on giving this guy a
Kid's a
10-year
stud,
deal.
dude.
I just think he's a great defender. He's helping us win games. He's amazing in the clubhouse. He can hit the ball. He can get the ball hard.
Hmm.
Putting together good at bats. Joe Mack is a finalist for Rookie of the Year.
And no one gives this man credit for the gun that he
No,
has for a right
gun.
arm, bro.
Absolutely. I think they can
That's
also.
got a
I think
cannon,
they
dude.
might extend him. I know
what
it's
kind of
weird.
contract? What kind of contract do you see somebody like him getting?
So similar to how Acuna and Albies got their deals when they were young, they got like a big 8-year extension, and they got them at a really good price.
Yeah.
Mac, I can see Marlins offer him a 6-7 year deal. Um, what is he gonna get? 11, 10 million a year, maybe? No, less than that
Maybe.
for sure. Maybe 9.
Probably less.
9 million. If they offer him $9 million a year for 7 years, he'll probably take that, and that's gonna end up, in my opinion, being a huge problem for them.
Okay. I love that, man. All right, let's get into our draft. So, we're going to do just regular order here. Nick, since you're the guest, you're going to get the first pick.
Sure.
Then we'll go Jose, then we'll go myself, and then we'll just continue to rotate in that order. Again, if I choose somebody, you can choose them, and so on and so forth. It's a draft.
Yeah.
So we're going to draft our top 5 favorite Marlins of all time. Nick, get us started.
Yeah. So growing up here, guys, I'm gonna say my first favorite player ever, and this might sound a little young here. I'm going Hanley Ramirez.
That's a
Was a
great choice.
big fan of him. I had a jersey of him, a Florida Marlins jersey of him, and I was going out to the games and watching him at short. And he was just so fun to watch. Hanley Ramirez is my guy, man. That is who I'm picking, number 2. Right
Love
there.
that. Love that. Jose.
All right, boys. I'm a lot older than you guys, of course. So I did see the Marlins in the '90s, late '90s. I did get to see them when they won the World Series in '97. I was a little kid, basically.
That's when I was born.
Yeah. I think in '97 I was like 5 or 6 years old. Um, Gary Sheffield.
Nice.
Good,
Gary
Good one.
Sheffield.
good pull. I'm gonna go with what I was able to watch, which was the 2003 championship, and we're gonna go to pitcher and go Josh Beckett.
Nice.
I like that.
That's gonna
I
be
like
Nice
that.
guys. So I'm gonna
I like that.
I'm gonna be really young with these next ones then. Okay.
by all means. And so listen, I'm going that route next. So just hold that.
Well, this one's a fairly new guy, and he was only with the team for about 4 or 5 years, but through my high school phase and college phase, guys, I was a big Jazz Chisholm Jr. guy. When we traded for him from Arizona,
Can't hate on that, man.
we traded Zach Gallen for him. And I knew who Jazz was before, and I was like, this kid's gonna be unbelievable as shortstop. He ended up playing second base for us, but he, was my guy, man. And 2022, 2023, 2020, I think 2021 as well. He had the blue hair, and he was, running inside the park home runs and, hitting the ball. He was an electric player, and we didn't really have that down here. I mean, we had Yellow, Tozuna, Stanton, but he was more of like a fun, vibrant, like. He was just so fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I traded him, and I was devastated, and I really was. And I still will never forgive the Marlins for that. But Jazz is definitely him and Hanley are my 1 and 2 favorite players. So I'm actually glad the board fell to me that I can get Jazz. So
Both. I like it.
yeah,
And he was the cover for MLB, man.
he
Like
was the cover of the show as well, and
had had the opportunity to be a cover. Jose.
he was. Yeah.
The crazy part with at least me, I have a love-hate relationship with Jazz because I also follow the Yankees. And the thing with me with Jazz, although I think he's an amazing talent, everything always seems to be about Jazz.
That is a
There's
fair
no
point.
team.
Yeah.
So I personally, I think the Marlins kind of dodged that one and like, hey, Cashman, here, go deal with that in New York.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I still think
Disagree.
awesome pick, man. Just great player. My next pick, one of my favorite left-hand pitchers of all time, Dontrell Willis.
Oh,
Hey,
He could do it at the plate,
the other day.
and he could do it on the mound, bro.
That was gonna be one of my picks, but I think that's a great pick, bro. To keep it swift here, my second pick is gonna be Miguel Cabrera. Give me Miggy.
nice.
Iggy.
Of course.
Iggy,
Of course.
Iggy, that was gonna be my next one. You jacked me, bro.
Nick, third pick.
Third pick here, guys. Oh my goodness gracious! All right, this is gonna be a rather interesting one, fellas. I'm gonna go with D Gordon. When I was in
Gordon.
2017,
Okay.
I think he won the batting title one of these years, but he was an
Yeah.
all-star. I was a big D Gordon guy. I loved him leading off, played a good second base, very fast as well. Really cool dude. He actually signed one of my jerseys. I thought D was unbelievable down here, and he was one of my favorite players. Actually, I know you got Stan, you got superstars there, but I thought he was unbelievable. So fast, guys, so fast.
Guys,
And
listen.
he was electrifying, and I just was a big D guy. I'm actually, I was upset when they traded him to Seattle. So D Gordon, one of my top favorite players as well, man. That's my
I
third one.
love him. And I love niche picks.
Love that pick.
Love some niche.
Love it.
Go
Yeah,
ahead, Jose.
All right, so at number 3, may he rest in peace, Jose
yeah.
Fernandez.
I
Our
mean,
boy.
Saw that kid ever since he got drafted out of high school. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Superstar.
Insanity.
Superstar.
yeah,
Superstar. Had he outlived his time,
yeah, man.
guy would have been. He was. I'm surprised he never won the Cy Young, but he just never made it that long, man.
Yeah, man. That was sad. That
Hmm.
was sad. He would have had an incredible career.
Oh yeah.
For my third pick, I'm gonna go back in time a little bit, and then my last two picks are gonna be a little bit more niche. But man, I just remember he was one of the main players that I would always pay attention to, and I would always see him in games. Crazy name. Growing up must have been tough. Let me get Dan Ugla.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
Thank you. Love me some Dan
That
Ugla.
Danny was part of some scary years in Miami, bro.
I was very young to see that, but he was. I
Yeah.
remember Dan Ogla and the Cody Ross era. I remember I was a little
Cody
kid.
Ross.
I was a little kid watching those games. I had my Hanley jersey on.
That was
All right,
So
Nick, pick number 4.
4. Oh my goodness, you guys took. I was gonna go Jose on that one, Jose Fernandez, but he took him. So it's all part of the draft luck here. I'm gonna.
Right.
He fell far enough. I gotta go with Big G, Giancarlo Stanton. How do you not go him? I mean, he was
how do
you
you
know,
not go with that?
2013. They signed him to a 13-year deal. Superstar, face of the franchise for the next 10, 15 years. Man hit the ball as far as you can ever even imagine. I think he still has the farthest home run in Lone Depot Park history.
Yes, he does.
Hit one out of Dodger Stadium. I mean, he was such a big dude. He was just such a good power big player. I think he won MVP for us. 59 home run season. I mean, unbelievable. You got to go Big G, man. He was the face of the franchise here. It's unfortunate we had to trade him, but you had to. And you know, he could. If he had a cheaper deal, he'd actually be a really good fit for the Marlins right now. Bringing
Yeah.
him back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, yeah, Big G. I mean, hopefully we see one day he comes back here, maybe for a year, hangs him up. But you never know. But yeah, Big G for sure. Giancarlo Stanton.
I remember when we were at the Dolphins stadium back when they used to play there, and his name was Mike. He
Yeah,
threw
Mike
me the
Stanton.
ball when
Mike Stanton.
he was left outfield, and he threw me the ball, and I don't know what I did with that ball, but I remember he threw it to me, and I probably lost it, but I remember that super vividly. Jose,
That's awesome, man.
pick number
One
4.
one thing that I'll never forget about Giancarlo, man, is the crack of the bat when he hits that ball. That thing. The first time I saw Giancarlo play in Lone Depot, it was against the Phillies, and he hit this line drive home run over the Budweiser sign.
Mhm.
It wasn't even a lob. It was line, and it just kept climbing. I'm like, dude, is that thing ever gonna fall?
Never
And
did.
I knew when he hit that ball, I'm like, oh, that's gone.
Gone.
I was getting up to get popcorn, and I just hear the pop. I'm like,
The
oh,
ball
yeah,
was-
it's gone.
Ball was
The
crushed.
beast, man.
That guy's an animal, dude. For number 4, We're going a little farther back. Um, although he wasn't with the Marlins for a long time, a couple of years. He was part of the 2003 team. Give me Mike Lowell, man.
How long was he with the Marlins?
Got in. It wasn't long, man.
Never
And then he was traded like shortly after the World Series.
Okay.
He wasn't there long. He got drafted by Boston, and then he went back to Boston, which is crazy.
Gotcha. Okay,
So
because you said that name and I was like, man, for some, it doesn't ring a bell for me. Um, with my fourth pick, this might be a little niche. I don't know how niche it is. But I just remember watching him steal bases and being so goddamn fast. Let me get Bonifacio.
Oh, nice.
Emilio,
I used to love watching him play. I used to love watching him steal the bases. I used to love playing him on the video game. So let me get Bonifacio. Nick, we're moving on to our final pick. Who do you
Yeah.
got?
Yeah, I noticed my generation, my picks here are a little different than your guys' here. Mine are a lot,
We like
uh,
variety. We like variety.
oh, hey man,
uh,
that's good.
that's good. Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
This guy was a Marlin in the 2023 playoff team. He's not with us anymore, but he was probably the best pure hitter I've ever seen in Marlins history, Luis Ariz. Um,
Oh yeah,
has a lot of similarities to Xavier Edwards, I noticed, and that's why I'm a big Xavier Edwards guy. But man, this guy literally did not strike out ever. You could throw it anywhere, he hit the ball. It was
he still
the
does.
most, yeah, he's second in the league in average. Of course, our boy
Yep.
Otto is first.
hmm
And Otto and X are playing like Luis Ariz, but Ariz, man, when he was with us 2023, he finished the season like 340, I think. Um, he literally did not. Like, it was the most impressive thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life. He just did not like. I think they had infield. They had the infield in on one of these plays. It was bases loaded. He was up, and I think there was one out. And he literally just hit it where there was no one at. Like he just aimed it and hit it there. It was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Like I don't know how he did it, but he never struck out. He hit the ball. He was very clutch. He was a decent fielder. People tell you he was a terrible fielder. He wasn't that bad. But
No, he wasn't.
I really liked him, and I wanted them to keep
hmm
him here. I actually wanted to sign him and put him at first base this offseason. Luis Ariz, man, one of the most talented hitters I've ever witnessed. He is my number 5 guy. I was debating between him and Juan Pierre, but Pierre wasn't in my
Ooh,
time, so
Pierre's
I wasn't in my time. I
Pierre's
didn't get to
another one.
watch. I didn't get to watch him that much, so I'm going to Rise, man. I get to watch him a lot, so that's my
Love
final
it.
one.
Great pick. Jose, final pick.
All right, final pick, and my opinion, the best catcher to ever play for the Marlins. No, it's not Pudge.
No,
It's not Pudge.
is it?
Give me JT Realmuto.
Oh, wow,
What a pull. I
I'm
forgot.
Give
debating
me
him.
JT Realmuto. I think honestly, in terms of hitting and just all around in the position, Joe Mack reminds me a lot of him,
Sure does.
as a matter of fact. And Joe Mack's gonna be better than him, and he will be the best catcher in Marlins history
You think so?
eventually.
Yeah, he's starting young,
Yeah,
man. He's 23 years old.
he's just a kid. But then again, JT he was a kid just like Joe Mack, man. He kind of just shocked the league. It's a shame that he plays for the Phillies.
I know, man. Screw that, man. We got Sixto Sanchez back. It doesn't even
Yeah,
whatever.
Great pick, man. And honestly, I'm gonna go super modern, and I've just been watching him recently. I'm gonna go Otto Lopez, and I know that's a little basic, but like
Love it.
Otto.
he's
Can't hate on him.
been bringing me back to wanting to watch baseball. Every time I watch a Marlins game now, like I look for him, and his I think he has the best batting average in the league
He
right now,
does.
and
Yeah,
it's just so fun to watch, man. So I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go there. Our draft is complete, fellas. I appreciate you guys